Coach, number one key to the game for you was to raise the compete level. They did it, but it took them a long time to do that. Once they did in the third period, the good things happened. Like, you take us through the game. It did not have that level at the beginning.
Yeah, we didn't. We're, obviously not making excuses with the travel and then day off and just, it's not really a day off because we got in late, but they just, they weren't focused, they weren't ready, they weren't moving their feet, and they weren't doing all the little things that we need to do to be competitive. And when they did, in the third period, like you pointed out, got pucks deep, low, shot pucks to the net, guys went to the net, hung on the pucks, started getting a little physical. That stuff works, so they got to do it for 3 periods. So.
Yeah, I mean, within the whole game, you got to talk about both things: falling behind 4-1, but yet you just mentioned coming back and forcing overtime. So that's the
great.
Yeah,
That's awesome that they can do that, but we can't afford to play like that every night, where we just ease into a game, or we're not into it yet. Oh, we'll just turn it up in the third. You can't do that. You're not in this league. It's too good of a league, and hopefully we can get these guys some rest and work on a few things and some video, and then maybe correct those.
Got to ask you about the spark Brett Leeson gave the team coming back from the Capitals, and a little shorthanded forward-wise, but he was, after kind of a first period of adjustment for him, he really looked good.
Well, I think everybody, right, the adjustment, but especially Lease. I think he's not used to that pace and the sloppiness of play. He's used to passes on the tape and everybody in position. So, but once we started to play better, after he scored his goal there, like he kind of raised it up, and I thought he had a real solid 2 periods for us.
How taxing has this stretch been for your group? 5 straight overtime games. Do you sense that they're getting gassed late in games?
Well, they're gassed, and I've lately too. I've been going 7 and 11, so obviously a lot of ice time for certain guys that maybe not used to it. But it's that time of year. You can see it, guys are starting to go down, getting hurt, a little nagging injuries, maintenance days. Young guys are not used to playing this type of grind, even though they, junior or college, whatever. It doesn't matter. This is a grind for these guys, and they're starting to get tired.
How do you look at your defensemen? I think tonight 4 rookies dressed. How much of an impact is that, especially early in games as you're trying to get settled and you have those 2 early first goals?
Yeah, I mean, this is the part of it, right? Making these guys better players, getting them ready, preparing them for the NHL, and hopefully they can get to that next step. But this is how they're going to learn. Playing tired, put in situations where maybe they're never in, but hey, you got to figure it out. And you got to figure it out quick, or next thing you know, you're looking for a job.
Coach, last 4 games, last 5 it's been to overtime, last 4 as well, all to overtime, but it's been 3 losses in the extra period versus 1 win, that win in Saturday in Charlotte. What do you think you guys need, if you guys are going to try and keep kind of this longevity out there, what do you guys need to improve to get that extra point?
Not get into overtime, that's for sure, but you know what, overtime's it's a crapshoot. You can go either way. I think maybe Crystal went down and it's kind of like a broken 2-on-1, and if he scores that, we're not talking about how we're gonna change the way we play for overtimes. It's just the way it is. And Ruby takes a penalty, which was it the right thing to do? No, it wasn't. But we almost had it killed off. But this is how it is. We won our overtime game that way. Somebody took a dumb penalty and we got the power play and scored. So I'm not concerned about it. If we can take a team to overtime or shootouts, we'll take our point, and maybe hopefully we can start getting 2 out of these.
You talk about the tiredness of this group. You've got now a 3-3 weekend coming up, and it's not going to be an easy 3-3, especially with Wilkes-Barre and Lehigh back to back. What are you going to do with these next 2 days here to try and prep your guys for this stretch?
I'm going to skate them hard every day before that. No. We'll just have light practices, just to kind of go over some system stuff. Keep it real light, simple, upbeat, some flow. Get some video for them just to show that, hey, these are the mistakes you're making. And I think a lot of it too is tired mistakes. And that's why I always preach to these guys that, good habits will protect you when you're tired. And that's a learning curve for these guys.
You talk about some of those tired mistakes, as you said. It seemed like, especially through that first 30 minutes, they were taking advantage a lot of having the far side of the ice open. Especially, I think that Fix-Wolansky second, I think in particular, kind of stands out there. Was there an in-game adjustment that you had to make there to try and cover that more, or was that just the guys making their spots better?
Well, I think we were just behind. We were like off a step. Like if they're gonna hit us weak side all night, that's fine. But we just weren't coming over. We weren't shifting over and swooping in and taking those guys away, forcing them to dump it. There's nothing wrong with, you're gonna give up something. We didn't want to give up the middle or the strong side. So what's open? The weak side. And they're good at it. And they were buzzing pretty good. But we just were a little slow on reacting from it. And, they got their entries or they got their pucks dumped in quick.
Throughout this season, it's felt like with the health of your team, it's been like, you start at full strength, and then a couple of guys get hurt up in Washington, some players get called up. Those guys get sent back down, and then you have a couple of guys injured back down here, and it kind of feels like it's been that back and forth. What's that challenge been like for you, as not just for you, but as a coaching staff, trying to deal with that and trying to find these right combinations when for much of the season you guys haven't really had your full lineup?
No, we haven't. It's not easy, but that's, as a staff, we'll sit in there, and we'll sit there tonight after the game and rate these guys, and then we'll figure out, okay, was that a good line combo we had? And sometimes you gotta allow it to play out for a few games to see where they're at, but right now, we just don't have the time to do that, so I gotta, like even tonight, shuffling lines around like crazy. Obviously, Crystal, Pro and Trini are a pretty good staple for us right now, but it's those, the second, third, fourth line guys that are, we're mixing and matching.
Good. All right. Thank you, guys.
All right, thanks,
Thanks,
guys.